just as a team, I think we're really starting to come together. Today, offensively, I think was one of our better days, if not our best day. But it's been a lot of fun. It's nice to just get out there and just play a lot of football and be with the guys and be with them all day. I mean, it's a grind for sure, but it's been a lot of fun.
How's the quarterback battle been going for you with all four of you guys seeming to split reps so far?
I mean, it's been good. Just taking it day by day. Just do what you can with the opportunity you're presented with. But for me, whether I'm the one guy or whether I'm the four guy, I'm not defined by that, and I get my worth in Jesus Christ. So it's been good. It's been a lot of fun, and it's been good for everybody. We've all been battling hard, and the competition's been super high, so we've all been able to improve.
Coach Freeze said he wasn't happy with how inconsistent you guys were yesterday during the scrimmage. Did that lead to this practice being so good that you guys wanted to atone for what happened yesterday?
I think it might have been part of it. I mean, just ready to come back out, and just decision-making wise today, we were just on top of it and delivering the ball. I mean, that was probably part of it, I think. Just us being able to come back, and we made some really good plays yesterday as well, but there was some times where we were inconsistent. But, yeah, I think that had.
What are things you've been working on this camp in terms of helping elevate your game?
For me, I would just say getting the ball out on time and anticipating things quicker. Whenever, I see something and know it's going to come open, just doing a lot better job of anticipating it and being ready to deliver it.
Because last year it seemed like you were running, that zone read last year against UMass and had the really nice deep ball to Caleb. Is that something that you're trying to work on, just polishing the passing game, because with your size you'll be able to run it?
Yeah, I try to just be able to do both. I've lost a little weight since last year too, so just trying to be able to, run the ball just as much as throw it. But yes, sir, definitely just polish any part of my game that I need to.
In terms of chemistry, I mean, obviously you hear quarterback battle this, quarterback battle that, but with you guys, has it brought you all closer? I mean, no matter the outcome, what's the chemistry between you guys?
I think it has. Like, you go in our room and you sit in a meeting, or you're just, whenever we're all around each other, it's not like there's any bad blood between each other. Like, we all get along really well. There's no kind of bad terms with anybody. I mean, we do a really good job of, not letting football, go into our daily lives or whatnot. But, yeah.
What's Charlie brought to the room in terms of, his vast experience and, playing in big games? What has he brought to the room that has helped elevate you guys?
Yeah, so I think Charlie, like you said, I mean, he has a lot of experience, played in a lot of big-time games, just a lot of experience. He's done a lot of things very well since he's been here. And it's nice, too, because he's older, a little bit more mature, but he's able to just bring, I think, some of the intangibles and what it takes, I think, to be able to win some of those big games and just hear his outlook on some things. So, yes, sir.
Nate, we're going to go to the computer. Ed Lane with the Virginia Talk Radio Network. Go ahead, Ed.
Nate, in addition to your nutritional adjustments from the last couple of months, what else from your notes that you were given or have you taken through the off season and now been able to apply here at the start of camp?
For me, I think it was a lot of the speed training and stuff that we did with Coach Dom. Like, I think that was just something that was huge for me, and just also being just very conditioned and being ready to roll, because Coach is wanting us to go fast and wanting us to, put the ball down and play and like I said, go fast. But just being locked into those days, I think that's really helped me improve overall my speed and conditioning and kind of getting my body to the way I want it to look and the way I feel.
In terms of your communication, especially with your line mates and with the rest of the offense, how much of that stuff were you able to work on during the offseason? Obviously, I know coaches can't be around because of the guidelines and the rules, but in terms of your own communication, what were you able to take from the spring to make that jump during the offseason?
I mean, it's just a lot. Overall, just being together. A lot of the Saturdays, the position groups would come in together and get work together and kind of be able to go through plays and kind of get reps away from the coaches and away from practice, and I think that was really big into leading into fall camp.
It's been going pretty well, you know. I think we're progressing real well as a team so far, especially up front. You know, it's been good working with Coach K all summer, working with the tight ends all summer. I think that the connection and the camaraderie in the units is starting to grow a lot more than where it was at in the spring, and I think that's going to help us a lot this year.
This year, you were at Kentucky SEC program, had some starts there. What was it? What was the process there in the transfer portal, and then electing to come here?
Well, I finished out my degree, and it didn't seem like I would have much of a future there. And my head coach at the time, Mark Stoops, gave me a recommendation to Coach Freeze. They watched my film, brought me in, and yeah, I've been ever since.
How has the culture for you been since you've arrived?
Phenomenal, to be honest with you. Like, great. It's better than probably any other team I've been on. Just the level of care the guys have. Like, from the second I got here, there wasn't an ounce of jealousy, there wasn't an ounce of hostility. Every single person, from the starters to the assistant coaches to the head coach to my fellow linemen, have just been trying to make sure I've been as comfortable here and as cared for as they can, and I appreciate it so much.
You know, the knee injuries I think were documented at Kentucky. How have you done in making sure you're taking care of your body here so that way you can get through, a rigorous season where you're going to go to a familiar place like Arkansas and you got Wake Forest, Virginia Tech, BYU, and some other teams on the schedule?
I'd honestly say a lot of that comes down to working with Coach Dom. You know, I think I came from some great strength and conditioning coaches, but this guy, Coach Dom, is one of the best in the country. Just the amount of work I've been able to come and get in from the springtime to the voluntary workouts in May to the mandatory from June up to this point. He's done so much for us, just training us, conditioning us, helping me to build up the muscles in my ligaments and around my knees and in my lower body. I feel as strong in my base and in my core as I've ever felt.
And how much does that translate into confidence now on the field, playing over there at left tackle, where you're going to have to be the blindside blocker?
So much. It's so much of it comes down to how quick you can get off the ball. You know, DNs at this level, they're so explosive, they're so fast, they got great hands, they got great movement. I have to have a strong base. I have to be able to make quick adjustments on the fly with my steps. I have to be able to get out to those wide fives. I have to be able to watch an inside move and get back in. All of that is so important. On outside zone plays, being able to reach, run, and cut, to open up and get linebackers in space, it's so important to have a strong base.
Right before camp, I don't know who posted the photo, but it was the offensive line and the running backs. You guys went to dinner at La Coretta. What was that like? Because you're bringing it like yourself, Reggie, Cam, running backs. You got Day-Days new to the room. About bringing you guys together and working toward a common goal, and also getting a chance to know each other.
It's been fun. Honestly, it's been fun. You know, I love football. I love talking to these guys about the places they came from, how they got here, how they ended up in Virginia. You know, I got teammates from Massachusetts now, from Louisiana, from Texas, from California. It's so invigorating, to get that energy from these guys and feel like, oh, I got here because of this and I'm locked in because of this. It makes you care more about them, and in turn makes you want to work even harder for them.
What's been the evolution of the offensive line, especially under Coach K, in terms of the film study you guys do and the training you guys do? Because, even though the offensive line wasn't responsible for allowing 51 sacks last year, that's still a gaudy number in terms of improving and making sure you guys are at peak shape throughout the season.
Well, he emphasizes that the onus of the offense is on us. The mentality of the offense is on us. If we come to work with a lunch pail mentality, we're going to keep our heads down, we're going to keep working, and we're going to be tough guys. That's going to spread throughout the offense. And if there's one thing that Kay is big on, it's all 5 men in the unit working as one. Once we master that, once we get better with our communication, with our double teams and all of that, not only are we going to start gelling better up front, it's going to make the tight ends and the receivers and quarterbacks and running backs gel with us, and we're really going to become a unit then.
Is that where the nickname Union comes from?
Yeah, union mentality. He's really big on us going to work. and us setting the tempo and us setting the tone for everybody.
You know, Coach Freese talked about the first preseason game y'all had. From your perspective, what was the O-line strengths, and what are some weaknesses you hope to work on?
I'd say the biggest steps we've taken, guys are making plays, guys are working hard, guys are communicating better, we're getting our calls across the line better. A lot of it comes down to, like you said, it's me, Cam, Reggie, we're new guys. Xavier, he's a new guy. You know, Coop is just coming back. It's different calls. It's a little bit different changes in the offense. We just have to get better at gelling together, you know, working together and all that. I would say that as an offense as a whole, just like Coach Freese says, we got to be perfectionists. We have to keep working to get better. And the second that we get complacent, the second we say, okay, we had this many touchdowns, good day, that's when we're dead in the water. We have to keep working. We have to keep focusing on the minute details. It's the only way we're ever going to do what we really know we can do this year.
I think we're going down the right road. Definitely looking good. The culture was the main thing coming into this, because you have a good culture. I feel like you have a good camp, which leads to a good season. It's kind of just like a trickle effect, but the culture has been immaculate, and we're steady pouring into each other, just uplifting each other, helping each other. And although camp is like the grind and there's the suck, we just keeping each other going throughout the whole thing.
TJ, it's the first time we're talking to you since 2020.
Yeah.
What was it like wanting to come back, and what was that process like of taking a year off, handling family matters, getting your body healthy, and then what was the ROTC experience like to stay here at Liberty and go through that?
Oh man, ROTC, I loved it. It was amazing. I met some great people, made a lot of great friends. From the military aspect, a lot of discipline. So me as a man, coming out of that season, I had kind of like lost myself a little bit. But then having that to, you know, keep me on that fine line and discipline, it just made me into a better man. Along with that, I got baptized, and so changing my perspective on how I like wanted to live my life. Coming back to football wasn't, how do I put this? Knew I wanted to play football, but there had to be a bigger reason than that. And that reason for me was to come, or that I feel like the Lord has placed me here in order to pour into these guys in the locker room and on this team and on the staff, because I just want to be a servant for God. And I feel like I'm going down that road, just, you know, like I said, go back to culture and being in a leadership role on that. It helps. What's the word I'm looking for? Kind of challenges me as it challenges my faith, challenges me being a Christian, and just hanging on and sticking true to my morals.
What's the mentality been like this year compared to back to 2020?
Definitely has improved a lot. 2020, it was a weird season because of COVID. And so with all that playing a role, it was just different. But the mentality now is like, we're here, we get to do this, we don't have to do this. And so as long as we accept that and we understand every day that it's just a blessing that we are able to do this and like pour into each other and play the game that we love, instead of like, oh man, I have to go do that. Like, nah, that's not it. And so that mentality, the mentality itself has grown a lot.
What role did your family play in saying, okay, take a step back from football for a year, or through that process? And then what was it like talking with them about, hey, I went through this ROTC, I've got structure, is this the right time to go back to football?
Oh, so my family, they were a blessing, because me and my family, we're close. And so bringing, you know, all my thoughts to them, or like how I'm feeling to them, it helped, because it helps to have somebody to lean on, because Coach Freese tells us all the time, like, you can't do it alone. And so having my family to lean on, and when I made the decision to step away from football, it was a hard decision. Obviously, I've done football since I was yay high, and that's all I knew. But I knew that I played football. Like, how's it go? It was I can't remember, but I know that football isn't who I am, it's what I do. And so my family, they helped me like figure that out. And so it was a blessing to be able to like find out who I am. And then like going to ROTC, they thought it was great, because ever since I was little, like I've always wanted to do something and for my country to help. And I know that ROTC, that's the first step, whether it's being military or police. Like I just want to help my country and help those who are in need or who are in help.
CJ, we're going to go to a couple of reporters
Okay.
online here. Emily Austin with Flame Central has a question. Emily?
Hey, CJ, how's it going?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Quarterback battle going on for you guys. How does that affect you receivers?
If I'm being honest, okay, I see you. I see where this is going, because obviously you want the chemistry with who you know will be out there, but being able to build chemistry with all of them it's a good thing, honestly, because you never know what could happen, or if somebody were to go down, then you do have a chemistry with the second and third. God forbid that happens, something like that happens. But it's good to get reps with all the quarterbacks.
Gotcha. Is there something that you're like, to build that chemistry and make sure you guys are all set with whoever's name is called, that you guys are spending more time, like, between reps or like away from practice?
Oh yeah, definitely. I just came from the training room. I came from off the field, and me and the quarterbacks and the receivers, like we stayed out there and we just got extra reps in, extra throwing, extra catching, just trying to get the timing down.
Awesome, thanks.
CJ, next we'll go to Ed Lane with the Virginia Talk Radio Network.
CJ, mentally, do you feel you're in a better spot now in terms of your ability to connect with the quarterback, to get on the same page and to understand your role within the offense than before you were taking time away to focus on your personal life?
Yes, sir, I do. Mentally, I'm where I need to be. Before, I wasn't so much in that the best mental space in 2020, but big difference now.
How are you mentally now, battling through injuries? I mean, that was a big deal in 2020. It
Oh,
seemed
definitely.
Like every week, you make a spectacular catch or two against Western Kentucky, and it's like, and you got something going on with their foot, shoulder,
Mm-hmm.
something like that. Where are you at mentally now with how to process and handle injuries?
If God allows it to happen, then it's meant to happen. That's how I view it now. Before, it was kind of like a me thing, like why did I put myself in that position, or like why did this have to happen to me? But now I view it as the same thing would happen again. Regardless, it'd be thank you, God, because you know the plans and the purpose that you have for me, and obviously this is the path that you are allowing me to take, and so that's just what it'll be. I know in the Bible it says God, He'll never put more on you than you can bear.